Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're strapping in for a high-speed analysis, diving deep into the strategy of a major energy drink company.
Yep, and specifically, we're looking only at the Q&A from their Q3 2025 earnings call.
Exactly. Because this is where the real nuance lives.
Absolutely. The prepared remarks, they give you the top-line numbers, but it's that direct back and forth. That's where you really see the roadmap.
You see how they're thinking about pricing, global growth.
And critically, how they plan to expand those profit margins.
Our mission here is to filter out all that financial jargon, leaving you with the strategic drivers. We want you to understand not just what happened, but why it matters.
And there's a fascinating twist in here. It seems the high price of specialty coffee is unintentionally acting as a massive tailwind for energy drinks.
That is the ultimate competitive irony. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
We have to start where the analysts did, with the explosive momentum in international markets. I mean, net sales for eBay, that's Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, they were up substantially.
Yeah. And this isn't just slow, steady growth. This is like real acceleration, especially in developed places like Western Europe.
So what did management say was driving that? What were the key factors?
They pointed to basically three interconnected forces. The first one is simply the value proposition.
Okay.
Compared to other ready-to-drink beverages, NRTDs, as they call them, energy drinks, are just seen as a more affordable option these days.
Which is an interesting perception shift, isn't it?
It really is. And the second force is the category's image and its functionality. Meaning it's moved beyond that old stereotype of, a late-night drink for truckers. It's now seen as an all-day, multi-occasion beverage.
Right. It's for your 2 p.m. slump, not just an all-nighter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the third force, social media, a huge part of this.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, they saw this massive organic lift, specifically from their ultra-white family of products. It just benefited hugely from viral consumer endorsements online.
And that kind of authentic growth. Yeah. You can't buy that.
You really can't.
Okay, the viral growth is one thing, but here is the stat that just completely stopped me in my tracks.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Studies in Western Europe suggest that a staggering 25% of consumers who entered the category in the last year were entirely new to it.
It's a huge conversion number, and what's really revealing is who these people are.
Where are they coming from?
Well, they're coming from soft drinks, juice, water, and critically, from the coffee category.
25% new. That sounds almost too good to be true. Did the analysts push back on that at all? Like, is this just a fad?
Oh, yeah. That tension was definitely there. But the executive response was all about that value gap. They said, and I'm quoting here, coffee house coffees are becoming really expensive.
I can't argue with that.
Right. So if your daily habit is a $6 or $7 specialty coffee versus a, $3 energy drink, the savings add up fast.
So for younger consumers especially, the energy drink is now the affordable, functional luxury.
That's the framing. And it's a fundamental shift. We've always seen coffee as the big competitor, and now they're basically describing it as a feeder market.
That just redefines the whole competitive landscape. They're not just fighting for existing energy drink fans. They're conquering other beverage occasions.
Exactly. And unlike some of their competitors, whose growth is almost all from new product launches.
Gives you views, right.
Right. Their share gains are coming from both innovation and the solid performance of their existing core products. That signals a really healthy brand.
And speaking of innovation, we have to mention the Lando Norris Zero Sugar drink.
Oh, for sure.
They called it out as their most successful new product launch ever in the MEA region. That combo of athlete branding and zero sugar is just, it's clearly working internationally.
It's a winning formula.
Okay, so this massive international growth is great, but analysts always want to know about profitability.
Of course. The big question is, can you grow that fast without sacrificing your margins?
Which takes us right to their pricing strategy, the one they rolled out on November 1st.
It was a fascinating discussion. Management really emphasized that this was not a simple one-size-fits-all price hike.
So what was it then?
It was a strategic mix. So in some places, it was a frontline price increase. In others, it was a reduction in promotional allowances.
Okay, so reducing promotions, that means I might see the same price on the shelf, but maybe the buy one, get one deals are gone.
Precisely. You're achieving a higher effective price without, shocking the consumer with a big sticker price change.
And this is all part of a bigger philosophy they kept mentioning, RGM.
Revenue growth management.
Right.
And it sounds like jargon, but the way they described it is actually pretty complex.
Let's break that down.
They called it the balance of art and science rooted in consumer insights. The goal is really simple. They want to grow their top-line revenue faster than their unit volume.
So it's about profitable growth, not just selling more cans at any cost.
Exactly. They're managing pricing, trade spend, package sizes, all of it to deliver sustainable profit.
And it seems to have paid off in Q3. Gross margins were at 55.7%, which was up significantly from last year. A big beat.
It was, and there were three major tailwinds driving that. First, the pricing actions we just talked about. Second, some serious supply chain optimization. And third, and this is important, a very favorable product sales mix.
What do you mean by product mix?
The shift in consumer demand. More people are moving away from full sugar drinks and toward the zero sugar alternatives.
And that actually helps their margins. That's surprising.
It is. In terms of raw material costs, those zero sugar formulas often generate higher margins. It's a huge tailwind for profitability.
But it wasn't all good news. There were some headwinds, right?
Absolutely. The margin expansion was partially offset by a few things. Higher promotional allowances in some areas, for one.
And aluminum costs are still an issue.
Yeah, persistent increases in can costs from tariffs and the Midwest premium. They said the impact is modest, but it will continue into 2026.
Now, let's tie this back to international growth. We know international margins are usually lower than in the U.S.
Right.
So how did their affordable brands, like Predator Fury, fit into that margin picture?
That is the core strategic puzzle. But the executives explained that those affordable brands often operate on a concentrate model.
What does that mean, a concentrate model?
It means they ship a concentrated base to local partners. Those partners then add the water, the carbonation, and do the packaging locally.
Ah, okay, so they're not shipping heavy cans of water across the ocean.
Exactly. And that concentrate model generates much higher internal margins for them than shipping finished goods. So while the affordable segment overall is lower margin, the way they do it actually helps their international margin profile over time.
It's a pretty smart way to manage the costs of global expansion.
Very smart.
So looking ahead to 2026, the analysts were a bit cautious.
Understandably, the comparisons are going to be really tough after a year like this.
So what fundamentals did management point to that will keep the category growing, even against those comps?
They kept coming back to two long-term drivers. First, that affordable luxury proposition we talked about.
A coffee replacement.
That's not a short-term fad. That's a persistent societal tailwind. And the second point was growing societal acceptability.
It's just people getting more comfortable with the category.
And debunking old myths. Management reiterated that the caffeine in their drinks is often less than half of an equivalent-sized coffeehouse coffee.
That is a massive point for winning over skeptical consumers, isn't it?
It's a huge psychological barrier to overcome. And as they do, household penetration just keeps rising. The category still has a lot of room to run.
And to make sure it does, they obviously have a deep innovation pipeline ready to go.
They do. They previewed a really interesting launch for early 2026 called Flirt.
Flirt. Okay.
It's a new female-focused brand, zero sugar, 4 initial flavors with names like Strawberry Fling and Sunset Squeeze.
So a very targeted play to bring in a demographic that maybe doesn't connect with the traditional, more aggressive branding.
Exactly. And they're also being really tactical with their timing.
How so?
They announced 2 limited-time offers, or LTOs, for summer 2026. A patriotic Monster Ultra Red, White, and Blue series.
Timed for America's 250th anniversary, I assume?
You got it. And a new Juice Monster Strawberry Lemonade. It's using innovation to capitalize on specific moments and purchasing windows.
So if we step back from this whole deep dive, the story has gotten a lot more sophisticated.
It really has.
I think there are 2 huge takeaways for you. First, that massive international consumer conversion.
Yeah.
That 25% of new entrants, mostly coming over from expensive coffee.
And second, the strategic financial execution. This isn't just a volume game anymore.
No.
This sophisticated revenue growth management, the RGM strategy, signals a real maturity. The focus is on unit-growing profitability, which makes their whole growth structure far more resilient.
Which leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to chew on until our next dive.
Lay it on us.
If the energy drink category is successfully repositioning itself as the affordable, functional alternative to expensive daily habits like gourmet coffee, how much higher can household penetration truly rise before it plateaus?
That's the billion-dollar question.
It seems the ceiling is a lot higher than anyone once thought.